So for the last competency, we're talking about the developing professional. I think this competency is about lifelong learning, especially within the student affairs field. We need to be proactive in terms of looking for and absorbing new information. We can't possibly know everything, so we're always in need of new knowledge to fill the gaps in our own knowledge. This is really important for our profession because we are constantly working with students from different experiences and backgrounds. The students we're working with this year may be drastically different than the students we worked with last year. We should be open to new information regarding current issues in higher education, strategies to resolve those issues, and also different perspectives looking at those issues. I think lifelong learning is a way for us to professionally develop. Through this, we also develop various skills personally, such as leadership and communication skills. We can also learn about different strategies to self-care, and therefore it reduces the chance for us to burn out in our profession. It's also important to keep up with technology. We should stay alert and aware to technology and digital tools to more effectively and better do our work. We have to commit to lifelong learning and developing our professional skills because we have to stay connected with the world and continue to enhance our understanding of the world so that we're able to serve students to the best of our ability. In my opinion, professionalism in student affairs is providing a safe and respectful environment for students and co-workers. It is modeling non-discriminatory behaviors. It is showing respect to everyone at any time. It is forming healthy and developmental relationships with students and forming appropriate relationships with colleagues. It is being sensitive and respectful to cultural and individual differences. It is also supporting institutional missions and goals. And finally, it is the ability to hold others accountable for their responsibilities. I have come up with a plan in my professional development plan from the Programs and Functions courses in order to further my professional skills as well as my knowledge in student affairs. I identified 2 ways to develop my knowledge of student affairs profession, which are, first, connecting with other student affairs professionals along with other members of the institution I work at to learn from their experience in this field and their paths to the positions they hold currently. And second, by going on to various student affairs organizations and learn about their history, missions, and goals, and join one that I feel most connected with. I will also interview student affairs professionals at other institutions and learn from their perspectives. In the Programs and Function course, I also created my resource list of books, articles, and videos of higher education-related topics to actively immerse myself in the current atmosphere. In my student care internship, I also met with my supervisor frequently to discuss my strengths as well as areas of growth. We realized that when I took on this internship initially, I spent extensive amount of time reviewing and preparing communication with almost too much attention to detail. When I first started managing my own cases, I also lacked confidence in decision-making and autonomous environments. Once I had established these areas to work on, I reminded myself daily to spend less time on preparing and reviewing emails and to trust myself in making decisions related to my cases because I was familiar with the cases, the system we used, as well as all the resources we have on campus. Other than looking for ways to professionally develop, I also thought about and worked on my worldview, values, and ethics in student affairs. As I explained in my personal statement of ethical behavior from the counseling course, my overall approach to ethical behavior in higher education as a student affairs professional is based on the ACPA's Statement of Ethical Principles and Standards. Given my intention to work with the international student population in a higher education setting, I think ethical standard number 2 in ACPA's Statement of Ethical Principle and Standards is especially worth noting because of its focus on student learning and development, as well as multicultural competency. International students' development is particularly complex due to the diversity of their cultural and social backgrounds. Within the standard, it guides professionals to abstain from all forms of harassment. I could see myself using this particular standard when I hear students making intentional or unintentional harmful comments to international students who are not that fluent in English. In my Where I Am From and Where I Would Like to Go essay from Student Development Theories 1 course, as well as in my Storytelling project from Multicultural Issues course, I told my story and described my lived experiences as Chinese. Being a Chinese has influenced how I relate to other people of color. I may be more understanding or have more empathy for others because I identify as being one of the minoritized groups. For example, in my current role as a student program student services support coordinator, I serve mostly international students from China who are not able to travel due to the travel restrictions. These students often run into issues with their login to their student account because of difficulties verifying their Chinese phone numbers. When I heard this from students, my first reaction was that I felt for them because I have had similar experiences. I knew how hard it is to try to manage a US college student account from China. So I made sure to tell students that I am here to support them and I will try my best to assist them with their issues. I contacted the support team at Arizona State University to ask about the ever-changing sign-in process and how international students can verify their phone numbers. Unfortunately, I was told that students would have to call the customer service line in person in order to bypass the phone verification process. I immediately thought about how some students might not speak English or may fear to speak English on the phone because I have had similar experiences. So I asked the support team how non-English speaking students can get connected on the phone with a translator. Luckily, Arizona State University offers translation services in all languages So it would be a little easier for students from China to call in and solve their phone verification issues.